You are not living your life. You are performing it. And the more convincing you become, the less you recognize yourself. This is not maturity. If no one was watching, would you still move the same way? You felt something shift in the last episode. The fear of being real. Now you confront what that fear created. A life designed for observation. You do not wake up and ask what feels true. You wake up and ask what fits the script. Competent. Stable. Controlled. Impressive. You prepare your emotional costume before you prepare your body. That preparation feels automatic now. You adjust posture. You adjust tone. You adjust energy, even when no one directly demands it, because the audience is internalized. You carry observers inside your mind. Past critics. Authority figures. Imagine judges. They sit quietly in your thoughts, and you perform for them. Pattern interrupt. Right now, imagine walking into a room completely alone. No evaluation. No expectation. No social hierarchy. Notice what changes in your body. Shoulders drop. Breathing slows. That is the difference between presence and performance. Performance tightens you. Presence releases you. You have been tight for years. Not visibly tense. Internally tense. You monitor how you speak. You filter what you reveal. You calculate what to emphasize. Living does not require calculation. Performance does. The psychological mechanism is precise. When approval became safety, visibility became strategy. You learn that how you appear determines how you are treated. So you optimized appearance. Not just physically. Emotionally. Intellectually. Socially. You built a version of yourself that receives predictable responses. Predictability feels safe, but safety built on performance is fragile, because one unscripted moment can threaten the entire structure. Think about how uncomfortable you feel when you say something spontaneous and the room reacts unexpectedly. That discomfort is not about the comment. It is about loss of control. Control is your stage lighting. Without it, you feel exposed. So you tighten the script. You rehearse before conversations. You replay after conversations. You refine identity constantly. You believe refinement equals growth. Sometimes it is, but often refinement is image maintenance. Image maintenance consumes energy. You feel tired after social interaction not because people are exhausting, but because performance is. You cannot relax while acting. Even subtle acting drains. Subtle acting is worse, because you convince yourself it is natural. Pattern interrupt. Ask yourself this clearly. When you achieved your last milestone, who were you imagining watching? Was it purely for internal fulfillment? Or was there an invisible audience in your mind? Be honest. Performance shifts motivation. Instead of asking what aligns, you ask what impresses. Instead of asking what feels alive, you ask what looks strong. Instead of asking what fulfills, you ask what elevates status. This shift is quiet. You rarely notice when it happens. But over time, your life becomes curated. Curated careers. Curated friendships. Curated struggles. Curated vulnerability. Even your authenticity becomes aesthetic. You share controlled honesty. Strategic openness. Measured imperfection. Nothing chaotic. Nothing destabilizing, because chaos breaks character, and character is what holds your world together. Here is the fracture. You start feeling disconnected from your own experiences. Moments that should feel meaningful feel muted. You achieve something and immediately evaluate how it appears. You feel something and immediately decide whether it fits your image. You cannot fully immerse yourself because you are busy observing yourself. Living requires immersion. Performance requires distance. You have trained yourself to stay slightly distant from your own life. That distance protects the image. It also reduces intensity. Intensity feels risky. If you feel too deeply, you might act unpredictably. If you act unpredictably, you might disrupt perception. So you flatten emotion. You moderate reactions. You dampen enthusiasm. You control anger. control becomes default. Over time, control becomes identity. People describe you as composed. Inside, you feel disconnected. That disconnection becomes subtle numbness. Numbness is not peace. It is suppressed intensity. You suppress because expression threatens performance. Pattern interrupt. Imagine laughing loudly without restraint in a formal setting. Notice the discomfort, because you stepped outside the role. Roles are predictable. Humans are not. You prefer roles. Roles are easier to manage than authenticity. But roles are rigid, and rigidity cracks under pressure. Eventually, something inside you resists. You feel restless without a clear reason, irritated by minor things, dissatisfied despite achievement. This is not ingratitude. It is misalignment. You are playing a character in your own story, and characters follow scripts. Scripts do not adapt to inner shifts. You may notice how often you think about how events will be described later, not how they feel now. You are narrating instead of experiencing. That is performance consciousness. It creates dual awareness. Actor, observer. The observer never sleeps. It critiques posture, tone, timing, response. You are rarely fully alone because the internal audience remains. That audience formed early. It protected you. It taught you how to fit in. Now it limits you, because fitting in is no longer survival. But your nervous system does not update automatically. It keeps running the old script. You cannot relax into your own impulses because impulse feels unsafe. Impulse is unpredictable. Unpredictability threatens control. Control feels like safety. This is the trap. You confuse control with security. But security built on constant performance is exhausting. Hammer this. You are not free. You are rehearsed. You are not authentic. You are optimized. You are not relaxed. You are regulated for approval. Let that settle. The identity fracture deepens when you realize something disturbing. Much of your personality may be a refined mask. Your humor is shaped for likability. Your opinions softened for acceptability. Your ambitions were selected for admiration. You may even struggle to answer simple questions alone. What do I truly prefer? What do I genuinely believe? What do I desire without a witness? Performance erodes clarity. Clarity returns slowly when you stop adjusting. But stopping feels dangerous, because if you stop performing, responses become unpredictable. Some people will react differently. Some may feel unsettled. Some may withdraw. You fear that loss. So you continue the act. But the act is heavy. You feel the weight when you are alone at night. When no one is watching. When the costume drops briefly. You feel tired. Not physically. Existentially. That exhaustion is the cost of divided identity. You cannot sustain actor and self indefinitely without tension. Tension accumulates. Eventually, the script cracks. It may crack through burnout, through sudden emotional outbursts, through quiet depression. These are not random collapses. They are consequences of chronic performance. Living requires vulnerability. Performance avoids it. You cannot experience depth without risking unpredictability. If you always manage perception, you never fully surrender to experience. And without surrender, intensity fades. Your life feels controlled. But control without aliveness is sterile. Pattern interrupt. If you removed all observers from your mind, what would you do differently tomorrow? Would you speak more directly? Choose differently? Express more openly? That answer reveals where performance dominates. The series has been peeling layers. First the mask, then the fear, now the stage. You are not just hiding, you are acting. And acting continuously fractures identity. Because performance requires consistency with image, not consistency with truth. Truth evolves. Image resists change. So when you grow internally, the image lags behind. You feel tension. Do I maintain the character or allow it to shift? Allowing it to shift risks confusion in others. Maintaining it risks stagnation within yourself. That is the conflict. Living demands evolution. Performance demands stability. You cannot fully commit to both. At some point, you must choose. Continue curating perception, or tolerate unpredictability in pursuit of alignment. Alignment feels unstable at first, because you have not practiced it. Performance has been your muscle memory. Living will feel awkward, unscripted pauses, imperfect responses, uncontrolled emotion. These are signs of rehumanization, but your system will interpret them as errors. Stay aware. Errors in performance are not errors in existence. There is a difference. The next layer is deeper. Why did performance become necessary in the first place? Who were you trying to protect? Who taught you that observation equals judgment? That answer sits beneath the stage lights. And until you confront it, you will keep rehearsing, even when the audience has already left.